Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Sorry about the croaky voice, I've got a bad throat. So yeah, I'm a bit sound a bit husky, sorry about that. So Christine asked me if I would show how I did this slowly, and Evelyn asked well, she said that she'd bought all the tools but couldn't get the dots to work. So I'm going to impart my knowledge, what I've found out from doing this. I have drawn, I don't know if you can see there, 3 concentric circles. You don't have to do that, and in fact I don't even remember really using it, but it does help keep things sort of lined up. So paints, now the paints that I used before were these and a gold paint, but I'm going to try it with this one as well, and I've got a blue one as well, but I don't suppose that will show up terribly well on black. These ones I could use straight, well these two I could use straight out of the out of the tube, but if you use acrylic paints that come in a tube, they are thicker. You just need to add some water to them, and I'll show you why and what it means. Let me just move that one out of the way, and I'm just going to use this one, this bit of black card for rough. I have, now you need to put them in something. I have put mine in the lids and just used them in the lids. So squeeze them out, something like that. I know the pink one works, so we'll use that one. That's a nice bright colour. And we'll try the orange. I don't know, I think I've got another orange actually. I don't know how much is in here. This looks very thick to me, so we'll use it so that I can show you a bit about why it might not be very good. So, tools. I bought years ago with the intention of doing something like this, but I never got round to it. These, which are quite small dotting tools. There may be more of them over the years, have sort of got used for different things. I've bought these. I'm pretty sure there was a 4th one of these, but I don't know where that is now either. And yesterday I was using the end of a paintbrush. If you've got paintbrushes, that would do fine. You could use a pencil. You could use, I haven't got one with a decent rubber, but you could use one of the rubbers at the end or the point. So you can use anything really, anything you've got with a kind of round or flat bottom. So let's have a look at the paint, because this is what I found to be the most important thing, the consistency of the paint. So if you put your tool in there and pull it out, if you can see that, let's actually make that a bit sharp, make it a bit sharp up here so you can see what I'm doing. If I pull that out, that blob at the end, gosh, why won't it show me? Here, let's do it again. It kind of makes a rounded shape. It's not pointy. And if you load up your tool and put your dot down, you don't really want to touch the paper with your tool. You just want to just drop the paint on, and you'll get a circle with a kind of rounded dome on it. Let me get some tissue, that's what we could do with, bear with me. Clean that off for a minute. Now, same goes with this green one. I've got a bit of pink on there, but it won't hurt. If we dip in and pull it out, you can see that it kind of makes like a rounded blob. And again, if we use it on here, try not to touch it, you get a round blob with a kind of soft dome top to it. Now, I'm going to do the same but with the orange. You can already see the consistency of this orange is very different. It's very thick. If I pull that out, that makes a point. If it's making a point, it's too thick. It needs water to let it down to the right consistency. I mean, you can see it's too thick anyway, but I'm just going to squeeze some drops of water. Put quite a bit in because I know it's going to need it. Into there, stir it up. Perhaps that wasn't the best tool for using, but hang on a minute, let's clean that off and then let's use the end of the paintbrush, that might stir it better. So you can use the thicker acrylic paints that come in tubes like Amsterdam or like the Hobbycraft equivalent, those sort of things, but they do need a little bit of water to get them to the right consistency. So let's have a look at this. I think we'll have the same problem. Yeah, we've still got like a point on the end. So I'm going to add some more water. Just a couple of drops. Because it needs to be thick enough obviously to stay on the end of your tool, otherwise it'll just sort of keep dropping off on the where you don't want it. Let's see what that's like. To me that still feels a little bit thick. But it's just a matter of getting the consistency right, and once you've got it right, it really is quite easy to do. And I've done them in the past. I've had a go at them before. I had a go on a stone and it didn't work very well. And I know now it's because the paint was too thick. If the paint is the right consistency, you won't get lumpy bits. You'll get a nice round. Let's have a look. Better. I wouldn't say it was perfect. Let's see what it does. Let's bring you down and have a look. Struggling with the focus today. I don't think it likes the black card. There we go. Let's have a go. Now I don't know if you can see that. It has rounded off, but it's not quite the same. Got a little, the others are quite like enamel dots when they're there, whereas this one has got a lump on it. It's because the paint is still too thick. So more water. Now I have to say that this orange was very thick. It's come to the end of its life at the end of this I don't know what you call it, pot. It's very old. Right, that is definitely better. Okay, it is making like a rounded end, not a pointy end, and hopefully that will now look a bit more like the other two, the pink and the pink and the green. I don't know if you can see that very well. But it is about getting the paint consistency right. That's really all it is to it. Paint consistency and using your tools and not pressing down. And you know, if you can just dot it without touching your tool to the paper. I'm going to try and go right in the centre there for that one. And you need plenty of tissue and things so that you can clean your tools in between. And then just take your time, dip each time if you want a consistent circle. If you want the circles to get smaller, I'll show you in a second, but then you wouldn't dip each time. I'll try and squeeze another one in there if I can. If you wanted to do them smaller, then you'd start off with one. Don't dip again, just keep going, and you can see that your dots get smaller as you get less and less paint on there. But if you want a consistent size, just dip your tool every time. Now that was a bit messy there, so I could have done better, but I'm not intending to finish this. I'm just trying to show you the sort of things that you can do. Obviously with smaller tools you make smaller dots, so we can just put small dots, and it's just a matter of playing and seeing what you like. And there's plenty of things, if you look on Pinterest or if you look on Instagram, those sort of things. There's plenty of ideas out there if you want to have a go at a dot mandala. Something else I did yesterday, which is quite fun. Let's use a slightly bigger tool. Doesn't really matter. I'll use the orange and see if it works. So you can take a dot, you can put a dot down like that, and then you can put your tool in it and either go straight down if you wanted to do something like that. Just drag the paint down like that, or actually I'll do them with a different colour. Let's leave that for a minute. Let me just do some of those. So I'm just putting a dot down, putting my tool back in it and pulling it forward. And obviously you could put some in between if you wanted to. Or you could, let's have a bigger one, a bigger tool. Let's try this one. I think this is a bit big actually. I really want that one, but I don't want to waste time cleaning it. I'm being lazy. Alright, let's try it. You could do a similar thing, like that, and then curve it. If you wanted a different shape. But I mean, you must experiment and see. I mean, I'm no expert. The one I did was the only one really I've done. I tried it on a stone years ago, and I'd got pointy blobs of paint. So yesterday when I had a go at the prompt and had to go with that, that was my first real go, and I'm really sort of learning as I go along, to be honest. But you can do all sorts of things. It's up to you what you fancy. I mean, you could, just trying to see whether, I think that's too far to go, that into there. I was trying to see if I can do a really thin line, because I've seen some with very, very thin lines. Yeah, It's not my tools or my paints, not, or maybe that length is just too far. If we were just going half that length, it was probably, it's knowing what you can get away with, I think. Yeah, but yeah, it's all about having fun and just then playing with your dots and choosing colours that work well together. Like the gold looked good on the black. I don't think that blue would look very good. But do you get the idea? I'm not going to do any more. I think that will do. But that's how I did it anyway. Main things: consistency of your paint and not really touching your tool to the paper. If you just let the paint drop down. So I'm just going to use the end of that rubber and see what that does. So that worked fine. So anything that you've got around, pens, you know, paintbrushes. I mean, you might get a bit of glue, not glue, a bit of paint left on it at the end. If you don't want that, then maybe make sure that you've got, you know, you're using things you're not bothered about. Just seeing what you can do with a pencil. Not very, you can't go very far. I don't know if it's the consistency of the paint. I've put a bit more paint on there. A bit more paint and it went a bit further. That's just with a pencil. It probably won't work again as a pencil after this. You just need to have a little practice to see how big a distance you need between things if you want to do lines. Anyway, I'm just fiddling around really now, so I just wanted to show you what I did and how easy it is. That's all. So for those of you who wanted to give it a go, give it a go and have fun with it. I'm quite pleased with how mine came out. I would definitely have another go and do something different on maybe on a different medium like a stone or something like that, but it was fun doing it on paper too. Anyway, enjoy yourselves, have fun, and I look forward to seeing your results. Bye for now.